Can everybody access the survey? Do you see the link, English and Spanish? ¿Ven el acceso a la encuesta? La primera es en inglés, la segunda en español. Si le hacen clic, ahí los va a llevar. If you just click on the link, you will be able to answer 10 questions for Dr. Ripley.
Thank you. And while you are doing it, I'll only say a little bit about myself. I hope it will not interrupt your thinking about completing your survey. I'm Dr. Shulamit Rikblatt, and my expertise is children and families, especially social emotional development and family engagement with schools. I worked many years at San Diego State University as professor and director of the Center for Family, School, and Community Engagement, and have 3 kids myself, 4 grandkids. So have been through the struggle of a parent dealing with schools, and I'm really happy to be here today. Even though I have the PowerPoint, from time to time we are going to stop the presentation. It's not really a lecture, it's a more a conversation and a exchange of ideas. And what do you think? We can move on, or we need to wait? It seems like
I think we can get started, and I'm pretty sure if they haven't finished, they can always finish it up once we're done with the presentation.
Great. So we all know, okay. We all know that every parent, and especially when we are together here, the parents who are here, for sure, you want to do the best that you can to support your child. And let's start with this so we can give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. I would like you to think about your own child in school. If you have more than 1 child, you can think about all of them or pick one of them only for the exercise, and think about what are you most proud about your child. What are the things that you, when you think about your child, bring smile to your face. So imagine this exogram. There are 6 points, and think about 6 things that are positive about your child. Of course, you're going to share only 1, so if you don't come up with 6 things, you don't have to, just as an exercise to think about it. And so when you think about this exogram and you try to think about your own child, let's share 1 thing that you are proud or love about your child, and say your name, who is your child, what age is your child, and say the positive things that you want to share about your child. So who would like to start? I see James here. James, is it James?
Yeah, I can go first.
Okay.
So so one of the things that I'm proud of with my daughter is that she's fully expressed. She doesn't seem to have any barriers that keep her from expressing herself.
And how old is she?
She's 8.
This is amazing, and it's the best when you have a child that can say what they want, express their feelings, and this is wonderful. Thank you, James.
No problem.
Virginia? You need to unmute yourself.
Okay. I have a son and a daughter, but I'm gonna speak about my son. He's in Marshall. He's in 7th grade. His name is Santiago. And 6 beautiful things about my son. First of all, I love him with all my heart. But what he's able to do, he's a highly social human being. He is friendly. He's a really good friend. He's very responsible with his schoolwork, independent. He doesn't need me anymore. That's what he says. So I'm not allowed to check his homework, but he has a straight A's. So I'm okay with that. And also, he loves to take risks. That's something that as a mom makes me kind of uncomfortable because culturally, I didn't grow up like that. So I have to work on that, but he's a risk taker. And he loves the kitchen as much as I do. He loves cooking. That's my son.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know, are the Rosie and the others that family liaisons are going to participate? Yeah, right? Rosie.
I actually have a 13-month-old. So I mean, he's just full of energy. He's running around the house. So I hope he keeps that energy once he goes into school.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Gloria?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, my son's name is Alex, and he's 15. He goes to a different school district. And one thing I guess that really stands out to me is he has a great sense of humor. And, you know, it's wonderful that he can make himself laugh, he can make us laugh, and I think that's a great gift.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Connie. Hi, Connie. No?
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm here.
Okay. Can you tell us about?
I'm sorry, I have a phone call because I'm in the school.
Okay, I will not interrupt you then.
I'm still working. I'm
Okay.
sorry, what was the question? I'm sorry.
We are talking about each one child and what is the one thing that positive or that you're proud of or you like about your child.
Well, I don't have choice on my and on me or on anymore, but you know, all my kids, they're mine. All the students are mine, and one positive thing is that, you know, they're happy. They like to come to school, and I love to see those faces, you know, every morning. And you know, the funny thing, you know, I go to the classes sometimes, and I told the teachers, I told that to you know, as a teacher, and then I go in the classroom and I say, I'm the teacher, and Mama, mean teacher, and everybody say, oh my goodness, Connie, you're not mean. That's, you know, it's positive things on me because I love my students because they're happy, and I try to them to be happy. When they're upset because they miss mom, I go there and I talk to them, and I love my students. I mean, I don't have no words to say. There is for me, everything is positive for my kids, and always I go with them, and I love my students. And I told Longfellow students and also the whole district, they're my kids. I have a lot of kids, but I love them all. Yeah, thank you.
Francesca or Francisca?
Francisca, lo puedes decir en español, lo van a
No,
traducir.
sí,
Es una de mis mamás de PHS.
sí, mi nombre es Francisca Ramírez, mamá de Alexander.
¿Y qué es de lo que te sientes más orgullosa de tus hijos?
Oh, hablando en general o más de Alexander.
Lo que te haga ser orgullosa de ellos.
Pues que yo estoy orgullosa porque hasta ahorita, desde el más grande hasta el más pequeño, les encanta andar conmigo a donde yo vaya. Y pues yo me siento contenta con ellos, porque muchos niños de esa edad, ya como Alexandra, ya no andan con sus mamás, ni el otro, que aunque tengan 12, ya no quieren andar con uno, y yo me siento orgullosa en esa forma.
The thing that she likes the most is that her kids still wants to go out with her, because when they grew up, they don't want to be with mom anymore. But hers, they're always with her.
Nice. Thank you. Karina?
Sí, buenas noches. Disculpe, ando un poco enferma, pero sí, yo tengo 3 hijas. Y siempre he estado dedicada en la educación de ellas, y ya la más grande ya está en la universidad, ya es su segundo año en la universidad, ella está en Humboldt. Y tengo una muchacha en high school, está en el grado 10, y también tengo una chiquita en el programa de francés en Altadena. Y hasta ahorita estoy muy contenta con la educación de ellas. Igual siempre he estado involucrada, he estado a la información que siempre dan los maestros y los directores de cada una de las escuelas, y siempre he estado muy dedicada a ellas. Muchas gracias.
Can you help us?
Okay, I think what's happening is that everybody needs to click interpretation at the bottom where you see like a little round circle. Otherwise, Gabby cannot interpret in English and Spanish.
Okay.
Por favor, abajo donde ven interpretación en el que parece mundito, ahí tienen que seleccionar su lenguaje para que así Gabby pueda hacer la interpretación. Gracias.
So we choose English. Yeah.
Gabby, we're not able to hear you.
Yeah. Thank you. Rina o Reina.
Reina es otra de mis mamás de PHS. Reina, ¿puedes hablar en español? Señora Reina Chilel.
Sí.
¿Puedes decir de qué te sientes más orgullosa de tus hijos?
Me siento, bueno, yo tengo 4 niños. Tengo uno que está en el grado 9. Y sí, estoy muy orgulloso de él porque él les está echando ganas en su estudio, y es un niño muy inteligente, y siempre cuando le digo las cosas que él ayude, siempre lo hace. Y sí, estoy muy orgulloso porque él ya está está avanzando con su clase. Y tengo otro niño de 5 años que él está en el preschool, y también él es muy activo, le gusta leer sus libros, le gusta, también me siento orgulloso de él y tengo otra niña también de 3 años. Y también me gusta, o sea, ella es bien inteligente, le gusta hacer las cosas, leer, o cuando ella quiere leer libros también. Y sí estoy orgulloso de ellos. Solamente eso, mis pocas palabras. Gracias.
Thank you. Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I have a daughter who's a kindergartner at Altadena Arts. I also have a younger son who's in private preschool who's 3. For my daughter who's just started this year, I'm proud of many things, but she really loves to help her classmates out. So when they're doing any kind of workstation and you know, some kids maybe not understanding the directions or falling off task, she likes to be like teacher's helper and try to help you know, help her fellow students out. One of many things I'm proud of her for. So, thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Tanya. Tanya or
I'm not sure if she's able to hear us. Tanya?
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry, what was the question?
It's only to introduce yourself, your child, and say one great things that you like about your own child.
Oh, of course. My name is Tanya, everyone, and I'm currently an intern at John Marshall. So I was invited to this meeting just to learn more about, you know, how to help children and how to help individuals who may be going through difficult situations. I don't have any kids, but
It's okay.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Did I miss anyone? I might, I'm not sure. But, oh well, let's continue. So let me only make sure that we share my screen before. Yes. So when we have little kids, or we have, and many of you have already kids in high school, some even in college. So really the range of ages is from a few months old, right? 13 months old, you said, Rosie? To children in college, which is wonderful because regardless of the age of the child, our involvement as parents is really critical, right? We really need to adjust our expectation according to the age, right? And parent our child according to their level of understanding, their level of needs, and developmental stage. We are not going to ask an 18-year-old if they need to stop at the bathroom, right? For example, because it's not appropriate as parents. So we need to grow with our children, and we need to, our involvement with the school is going to change as they are growing up, right? So being involved and engaged as a parent in a preschool or kindergarten is completely different than engaging in high school or preparing a child to go to college. Both requires engagement, but it's a different type of engagement. Now, if you think about your child and the dreams that you have for your child, we held here parents who said, I am proud, I think Virginia, you said, my child is an A student, I have a lot of hopes for him, he's doing well, right? Did I, Virginia, did I remember correctly? So what is important is that we each have dreams that we carry with us, right, about our child. And what do you think is your role? What do you think you need to do in order for these dreams and the dream of your child for them to come true? What do you think you need to do? What is your role? What is your job in ensuring that the dreams that you have for your child and her dream are being supported by you? How can you do that? I'm opening for those who wish to.
Yeah, I could chime in. I think leading by example and also just listening.
Absolutely. Listening is one of the things that we tell children to do, and many times as adults we don't, right? And it's really critical that we listen, because many times we have ideas in our mind what we want the child to be, and they have maybe different ideas. So it is important that we are going to support it and make sure that we listen very carefully. What else do we need to do?
¿Sigo yo? ¿Me vas a traducir? ¿Puedo hablar? Ok. Yo creo que lo más importante a mí para mamá no es que mi hijo esté sacando solamente A, pero como madre yo tengo que ver si realmente mi hijo está listo para ser independiente y que no le cheque las tareas, ¿sí me entiendes? Yo tengo que asegurarme que el niño va en buen camino, pero una de las cosas que nosotros hacemos aquí en casa mucho es escuchar sus sentimientos de los niños, ¿no? Yo tengo 2, que se desahoguen cuando lleguen a casa, que si quieren llorar porque están frustrados porque yo les quité algo en consecuencia, también escuchar sus razones. O sea, es como validar esos sentimientos y pues para mí es bien importante, ¿no? La expectación clara en la casa y los sentimientos y que el amor siempre nunca va a cambiar mi amor de madre. Por muchos errores que ellos cometan, mi amor es 100% para ellos. Pero en casa sí somos claros en expectaciones y eso nos funciona bastante. Y cuando el niño se derrota y está llorando, pues escuchamos y esperamos y ya después guiamos. Bye, mi amor.
Thank you, Virginia. So it seems like the example that we heard are more your active parenting, right? But do you have a role with the school? Do you think that in order for your child to achieve their dream, you need to work with the school, to meet with the teachers, to be part of the plan for your child, academic program? What do you think you need to do? What is your job? Because sometimes I hear parents that really think, right, that I'm the parent, I'm taking care of my child. When I send my child to school, the teacher, the principal, the counselor, whoever is there is responsible for my child and my child education. That's why I send my child to school. So there are parents who think this way, and there are many places in the world that actually encourage this type of view, right? But we are here coming and saying that maybe we need to be more involved. So why is that? What do you think are the reasons for us to be engaged with the schools? How is it going to affect our kids? And I see Karina hand, or Karina?
Así, solamente me gustaría agregar sobre la pregunta anterior. Por ejemplo, en mi caso sería muy importante, bueno, hasta ahorita lo he mirado, que es muy importante que papá y mamá estén de acuerdo en cómo van a guiar a sus hijos, tanto en la educación académica como en la educación sobre principios y morales, hacerlos que sean responsables, que sean buenos hijos y dando el ejemplo, como dijo uno de los padres, es dando el ejemplo, pero también a motivarlos para que estén preparados para llegar a la universidad. Saliendo de la high school, motivarlos desde pequeños y saber que su plan es, después de high school, llegar a la universidad. Eso a mí me ha funcionado mucho y estoy muy agradecida, me siento muy bendecida porque hasta ahorita yo he mirado que es muy bueno y es lo que siempre les comparto a los padres. Ese es mi punto de vista desde como mamá, igual como las demás mamás acaban de compartir. También es muy importante escucharlos, saber cuál es el sueño de ellos, pero que también sepan que para poder lograr sus sueños tienen que trabajar mucho en su persona, socializar y saber cómo una universidad puede aceptarlos. Y para mí eso es muy importante y para mi esposo también. Y pienso que es muy importante que la pareja en la casa esté de acuerdo cuando hay una pareja. Y también ese es mi punto de vista desde mi manera de pensar. Y muchas gracias.
Karina, you are right, because the synchrony and alignment of parents in the education of children is really critical. Now, it doesn't mean that both parents need to parent the same way, because we are different people. Some of us can be more strict with discipline, others are less. And it's okay. It doesn't mean that we need to be the same person, right? Or behave the same way. But we need to align what do we wish for our child. And we need to see who can help the child the best to reach this type of idea. And I like, Karina, that you mentioned about the motivation that parents can provide children with. I remember myself as a child when both my parents didn't have even elementary school education. And they were raised in time of war, they didn't get to learn. But for them, when they raised me and my siblings, going to college and learning and going to the library and reading a book was something that always was there. And this type of message is really critical. What is the expectation? What is the dream? What is the pathway that we are paving for our children? Now, we cannot pave it by ourselves. And we absolutely, when we are engaged in this with the schools, we see the research tells us there are many studies that look at the effects of parents who are involved with their children in their studying, volunteering in school, doing different type of things, but especially encouraging their children at home, and that we see improvement in school attendance. We see that children have, like James said about his daughter, she's well expressed, right? So they are increase their social emotional skills and ability to regulate themselves. They have friends, they are good friends, they can socialize, they can take care of others. They have higher grades. They, when they go to high school, they usually enroll in advanced programs in order to get to college, because in high school, you need to pick up certain classes in order to get to college. We see that parent and family engagement in school increase graduation rates and decrease dropout rates. And more kids are going to college because when parents are involved. So these are things that are extremely important for us to remember, because again, each one of us went to school and had our own experiences. Some are good, some are not so good, but really we had adults in our lives that motivated us, that help us see the light, right? So when you think about the school and your experience with school, who would like to share about your experience with school when you were a student? What type of experience did you have with your parents, being involved or maybe not? And how this guide what you do today with your child? Who would like to share?
Yo voy a compartir. Yo crecí en la Ciudad de México y fui una de 14 hermanos. Mi mamá, pues, vivía en la cocina y mi papá era el que trabajaba. Entonces, mi mamá no tenía tiempo de ir a ayudar a las escuelas, contribuir de ninguna manera. Entonces, nosotros, los 14, crecimos solos en las escuelas. Pero tuve un papá que siempre le gustó los negocios y él siempre nos decía, miren hijos, ustedes están yendo a la escuela, tienen la oportunidad de forjar un futuro y de convertirse y hacer lo que ustedes quieran de su vida cuando sean adultos. No podemos estar ahí, pero ustedes van a escoger. Y él nos decía siempre, escojan lo que quieran escoger, pero siempre sean los mejores. Y si se caen, acuérdense que siempre se levanta uno, ¿no? Lo que cae rebota. Te vas a levantar y vas a continuar, porque así es la vida. Y nosotros lo vimos con mi papá. En sus negocios, uno siempre fue exitoso, a veces o en un negocio perdió mucho, pero se levantó, mi padre se levantó y empezó de cero, y con esa mente poderosa construyó su futuro y un futuro para todos nosotros. Entonces, él nos enseñó que caerse está bien porque es parte de la vida y levantarnos es lo que siempre tenemos que hacer. Entonces, con esa mentalidad, pues, ¿cómo yo ayudo a mis hijos acá? Pues soy totalmente diferente a mi mamá. Lo único que tenemos igual es que me encanta cocinar y cocino igual que mi mamá, ¿no? Pero en realidad, yo soy de las que he estado presentes en la vida de mis hijos, en las escuelas, desde preescolar. Yo he sido el room parent en todas las escuelas, he coordinado, he contribuido, he hecho todo lo que he podido para que mis hijos vean que su madre está presente ahí. Y pues ahorita que ya está mi niño en middle school, yo me siento desconectada, me siento como que no hay un puente, no hay una conexión. O sea que yo mando a mi hijo a la escuela y no sé nada porque no conozco nada. Entonces es por eso que estoy en este entrenamiento, para aprender y ver cómo puedo decir presente en la secundaria y en la prepa.
Thank you, Virginia. It's your story brings the parent who is pushing for education, the shift in the status of many women, girls that are able today to pursue education, right? Which is wonderful, but really the consistent motivator and the pusher to do better, to move forward is extremely important. And you are raising a very important issue that many parents are talking about. And it is that when the child is in early childhood education and then in elementary school, parents feel like, oh, I'm involved. I know more about what my child is doing than when they start moving to middle school and high school. Because then one of the most important developmental tasks that a child has when they reach middle school and high school is moving to independence. They build their own identity, so it's identity formation stage, okay? They need to find out who they are, and they find out who they are by pushing us parents away, right? Because they want the independent and they want to define themselves. So when we are too much around them, hovering around them, they feel like, move away. It's not that I don't love you. It's not that I don't need you, but I need to stand on my own feet. Now, it doesn't mean that then I as a parent cannot be involved. Absolutely, you can have a conversation with your child and say, I trust you. You are doing great because I see your grades. But I'm your mom and I miss the connection with you. And because I miss the connection with you, what I ask you is, every day that you come from school, tell me one thing that happened today that you are willing to share. And it will make me happy. And I will share with you one thing that I did today. So I think that we get to a place where our engagement needs to be more equal, in a sense, with our child. Because when they start to grow up, they don't want us to be engaged the way we were when they were young. Because then they, in their eyes, they can't feel independent. And believe me, then they come back and they want more connection and more involvement. But don't just give up to it and just say to yourself, oh, he doesn't want me to be engaged. I don't know anything about what's going on. Be clear that it's important for you to know, not because you want to control him, just because you care about him. And do it in a way that is not demanding, but it's more giving him his space. So a lot of movement is now about family engagement. You know, during the COVID, when children sat at home in front of the computers, parents were very active in the education because the computer didn't work, the Zoom link didn't, or whatever link didn't work. The child couldn't understand the assignment, something happened. And we all realized that more than ever, that this connection between schools and families is critical. There is no way that schools can be successful without the support of the parents, because parents actually know their children best. They know the cultural, they know the familial, they know the community, they know all the context where their child is being raised. And this information, many times the teachers, the school, they don't have it. So it is important to know that. I remember I taught a lot of students throughout the years, and I remember one student came to me one day and said, you know, I'm working at the school and I think this child has autism. And I said, oh, why do you think that? And these students say, you know, when I talk to the child, they don't look up. They just look down, they don't make eye contact. And of course, they learn in one of the classes that eye contact or the lack of it is one of the signs that might indicate some problems in regard to social emotional development and autism in more severe cases, right? And it was really interesting because as I was asking more questions, this student told me, oh, this student family came recently from one of the Asian countries. And as they talk more and more, I said, you know, culturally, it might be that this child learned that they are not to look at the adult eyes and make this eye contact because it's not polite. So maybe go back and check and see who are the parents and try to figure out more. And absolutely, after a week, this student came back and said, oh, I made such a major mistake. This child is just, I don't remember from where they came, either from China or Singapore, some place that, and this child was not used to look directly at an adult face. So many times it is important that we as adults provide this information to teachers and schools because they might build a whole theory around it if we don't provide the information. So these are things that are extremely important. Now, when the National Association for Family Engagement in Schools, they brought together marketing people and different professionals to think about the image. How can we do a marketing type of campaign about family engagement, working together with schools for the child's success and in school? So if you think about an image, if you needed to draw a picture of collaborating with schools, families collaborate with school, what would you put on the paper? If you needed to draw something and depict this partnership between families and schools, how would you capture it?
I have an idea, if you don't mind me
Yes,
sharing.
Gloria.
I would make a really cartoony house, like, family house. And then I'd make a really cartoony building also that's a school. And then I put another one that's a house, family, and just very cartoony, like these houses having hands and feet and faces, and they're all holding hands. So the school in the middle and got them all connected. That's just something that comes to mind for me.
Beautiful. Any other image? Thank you, Gloria.
Yo haría dos manos así como saludándose, como que cerraron un trato de negocio, y esas manos las haría de muchos colores, porque todos venimos de diferentes colores. Eso es lo que yo haría.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful image. So let me share the image that they came up with in the national campaign that they did. And they actually put a spaceship. So they looked at the partnership and the educational goals. It's like sending a spaceship up to space. And in order for children to be successful and have good learning outcomes, all the people that are involved in the process need to work together. So working together as a team, because if you think about it, when you plan a launch, right? You come together, you do the planning, you think how you are going to set goals, what is the educational program for this child or another child. You bring, in order to send this space shuttle, you need engineer, mathematician, different scientists, different people, right? Here you need to have the families, the community, the children, everyone working collaboratively. And then the student success is a successful launch, right? So when you think about it, when you look at this image, what do you think then? Do you agree with this image of spaceship going to being sent after everybody is working together for the same goal? Do you like this? Maybe not.
It's a little abstract for me.
Mm-hmm. You are right that it is a little abstract. I think the idea of this national organization was to convince decision makers that it must be a joint effort, that everybody put the effort together, and they thought about something big that must, if you want it to be successful, everybody must work together. So spaceship, if you don't put all the components together, the mission will not be successful. And many times in this case means life lost, right? And people that are being held. So I think that their intention was to put it there as something that you must understand the importance of this mission. It's like sending this shuttle spaceship up to the space, and you have to do everything together in synchrony and harmony to make sure that it is successful. So I know that you might need to envision it, but it's really, I agree with you. It's like, wait a minute. When I look at it the first time, I say, wait a minute, spaceship, what happened to them? But then when you think about what they are trying to convey, then I personally liked it because I said, that's actually very powerful type of image. Because what they see in family engagement is shared responsibility. It's not only the responsibility of the parent to try to push the child, to try to motivate. If the school and the teachers and the administrator and all the infrastructure in the school is not supporting what the child needs, then this space shuttle cannot be launched, right? So really, it is important. And many times when we talk about family engagement in the past, the idea was, oh, the parent can volunteer in school. Or so you come, you cut, you do some help in the classroom, and here you are, an engaged parent. But many parents who don't come to school are extremely engaged because they check the homework, they read with their child, they ask their child questions and try to understand what happened in school. If something doesn't work, well, they call the school, they write an email or write and ask for a meeting. This is an involvement, even though it's not necessarily coming and volunteering to be on the PTA or doing something. So this is really important to understand, because in the past, it was like, it's nice to have family engagement. But with the shuttle and spaceship image, it's not nice, it's necessary. So every parent, we need to come and say, I need to be involved. If I want for my child to be successful, I need to be involved. And I have to say, I have 3 kids that are older. I told you I have already grandkids. But with each one of them, I need to be involved differently. But when we look back, if we were not to be involved in this way, their outcome probably were different today. The fact that they are today successful and productive adults is because we try to be as involved as we could and listen and motivate and be there for our children as well. So when we are talking about engagement, we need to believe several things. One, that parents love their children and they care about their children. Now, we are not talking about exceptional or different type of issues. Majority, 99% of parents that are healthy and well love their children. And they can support the learning of their child. Sometimes I hear parents that say, but I don't know how to read in English, or I don't speak English well. It's okay. But you can communicate in the language that you communicate to your child. You can help them with asking them questions about what they are doing. You can tell them stories about your culture and make sure that you bring opportunities to your child. So it's not, and in today's world and the opportunities that we have, we can go to a class or try to get more information, right? Or connect with other parents that can help us understand what is going on. So in the resources that I sent, there is, in Spanish and English, there are the type of parent engagement. Elizabeth, I sent to your email documents because I didn't know who will be here and I didn't have their emails.
Yes, what we're gonna do, Dr. Riblet, is that we will take all their emails because when they registered, they provided their emails. So we're gonna send all the resources that you sent and anything else that, including the evaluation and survey. Aparte de lo que mandó la doctora Riblet, les vamos a mandar nosotros, como ya tenemos los correos electrónicos de ustedes porque se inscribieron en la forma Google, les vamos a mandar todo una vez concluido este. No, I'm sorry. I forgot that you're translating, Gabby. It's my nature. It's okay. So what I'm gonna, I will go ahead and send out the information once you're done.
Okay. Thank you. So let me only.
And Dr. Riblet, I see Karina Contreras has had her hand up, so I'm not sure if you were able to see that.
Karina, my apology. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Sí, gracias. Sí, referente al conjunto que tiene que tener el estudiante para el apoyo que va a recibir. Para mí es ideal, claro, pero cuando hay alguna de las partes que está faltando o que es un poco más baja que las demás, no todas están al mismo nivel, para mí creo que la casa, el hogar es fundamental. El estudiante, después de la casa es el estudiante. En mi caso, mis hijas, de repente cuando salen elementary o middle school, me piden que las apunte en una escuela porque tiene mala reputación otra escuela. Mi manera de pensar es, todas las escuelas es lo mismo, todo depende del estudiante. Y eso es lo que mis hijas saben. El día que mi hija me dice, mami, ¿me puedes apuntar en esta escuela? Porque ahí va a ir mi amiga, o mi prima. Yo le digo a mi hija, mira, mi amor, tu escuela que te corresponde es esta y a esa escuela vas a ir. A esa escuela vas a encontrar más amigas, más amigos y en el futuro te vas a encontrar con tus otros amigos. No siempre vas a estar con los mismos amigos. Tienes que aprender que vas a estar conociendo diferentes personas y vas a estar descubriendo cómo vas a ir creciendo, socializando con muchas personas. Entonces, yo siempre he hecho con mis hijas esto y hasta ahorita, pues cada una de ellas lo ha aceptado a su manera y lo ha aceptado. Y para mí no es la escuela, no es la comunidad, tiene mucho que ver el estudiante y el hogar. Gracias.
Thank you, Karina. And in many cases, it's true that when a child needs to move to a new school and their friends go to a different school, it feels scary and intimidating, and they try to find ways that they can join with their friends. That's absolutely true. And sometimes parents decide that the neighborhood school or the schools that the child needs to go, it's good enough, and and then the child is doing okay because they find new friends and they are fine. But sometimes it is important to listen as well. And sometimes a child might do better in a different school, at a different school, when it's appropriate. It's not always appropriate to change, but sometimes it's needed. So let me, I just want to talk about the 6, one of the research in family engagement talked about 6 roles that parents have in their, when they are engaged in school. So when you think about your role, the first one is parenting, right? You are going to make sure that you give the support to your child to be healthy, to develop cognitively and emotionally and socially, and you are going to be in communication with the early childhood educators or the others to help your child thrive. One of the most important things that we need to remember about parenting is that James talked about role model, but we are more than role models. I call it, we are the mirror. We are the looking glass self. When a child looks at us, they see their self-worth. They see how we feel about them, but the way we feel about them in their eyes translate to what they think and feel about themselves. So think about it. So when we are bringing a child to educational system, and as parents, we are telling the child, don't do that. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you are going to get hurt. No, don't try this. Oh, you never, look what you are doing. You never are successful. You always spill. You don't know, how do you hold a pencil? Look what you are doing. Wow, you needed to color it. Look, you got out of line and everything. I can do it for you. Okay, this is an example of something we don't want to happen, right? Because our mirror is an important mirror that can provide a child, regardless of age, the sense of self-esteem. If I know that I can express myself and say what I feel and what I think, even if I make mistakes, it's okay. But if I have a parent who is very punitive or very angry when I make mistakes, then I start to self-doubt, right? So children do better when they have relationship with adults, when you have relationship not only with the parent, also with the teacher. Think about a teacher that really impacted you personally. This is a teacher that was not harsh or told you that you cannot make it. Usually you keep in mind the teacher who inspired you, who you wanted to, was your role model, right? So educators and in school, the staff as well, are the mirror for the child. So when we work together with the schools, we want them to know more about our children. because we know them best, right? In order to open the hearts of the teachers and the staff and the people in the school to know our child, to know what they need, what is their temperament, what type of teaching style and learning style they have, a teaching style they can respond well to. So this is part of the first role that we have as parents. The second one is communicating. So our role is, and the school together, is to have two-way communication. We need to work together to be able to communicate what are the needs of the child, what are the plans, what are the dreams, what is the program of study that is good for this child, and do it together. So for example, when my child was young, he couldn't sit in one place for long. So he just needed to get up, and you know, when we get up, we actually reboot our brain, we reboot our system. But he really needed to get up and do like, go to the other side of the room and come back and sit quietly back. He didn't need much. And I came to school and I said to the teacher, I shared what my child needs. And I gave an idea. I said, what do you think if we take another desk that he can put some of his books there? So then he can get up quietly, go to the other desk, pick up what he needs, and go back and sit. In this way, he is going to be okay. He knows he shouldn't disrupt and he needs to do it quietly, but it will help him to be able to maintain his attention. So this type of exchange is an example for communication. Now, the school needs to communicate by allowing parents to go on with emails, with newsletter. There are many schools that use different programs that parents can go and look what are the homework or what are the things. I'm not sure if you have it, Elizabeth, in Pasadena, the programs where parents can go online and see what homework a child have. And
yes, we do. They have a Canvas and different platforms that they can use, a parent portal as well.
Great, which is really important. Thank God for technology, right? That we can use all these communicative type of devices. The third one is volunteering, which is what it means, right? We need to volunteer, we need to help the school. Many teachers know how to use it well, some don't. But I just last week met this teacher, that first grade teacher that has too many kids that need her attention. And she offered the parents, she wanted 2 volunteers that will come on regular basis and help the children with the reading. So in this way, she was able to increase the adults in the room, and here she has some people that can help her, and the kids are benefiting from it, right? But one of the first one is the most important one. And it shows in research that it's responsible for successful learning outcome is learning at home. So the ability of the family members, the parents, to really be engaged in what's going on, the homework, the support of let's read together, let's do some research together, let's say you need to do an interview or project about this one. Oh, I know so-and-so, we can go there and we can ask for their help. All this learning at home is critical to the success of a child. And as I said, it's the most important one. The fifth one, according to Epstein, this is the name of the researcher who indicated these 6 roles that parents have, is the decision-making and advocacy. Now, really, if you think about it, it is important that parents are involved in policy making, in different type of issues. What are the discipline policies? What during the COVID, what are the social distancing type of issues? How parents can support the needs of their children and still take in consideration all the different constraints that are there and working together to find solutions. So decision-making and advocacy are really critical. And many times it is important for schools really to identify the parents who can build this capacity, leadership capacity, and train them and bring them to the level of really leadership. And the last one is connecting, which it's really bridging families in school with the community. So not only we are connecting with the school, but many times in order to take care of our child, we need to refer to another source. So let's say my child needs some emotional or behavioral support, or maybe my child is really interested in music, in special genre of music, and the school can refer this child to special group that they know about. This child has amazing leadership skills, and there is youth council group that is going to be established. So this connecting is important, and parents are very essential in this type of role. So really what I wanted to highlight today is that each one of us, in the way we parent and the way we engage with the school, we really engage according to what we are able to offer. Some of us might work full days and cannot volunteer. Some of us might not be able to be on the governing committee in school, the PTA, the LCAP, the different committees. But our involvement can be demonstrated and manifested in other ways that support and meet the needs of our child. And this is something that is important because, and as I said, it's not nice to have. We need to start looking at it as must have. It's necessary. It's like sending this shuttle to space. So I want to open it to questions, comments, ideas.
We have 5 minutes, so if
Okay.
you have any questions, concerns, or ideas, like Dr. Riblet said, please.
Yo tengo una idea. Yo considero que a nivel secundaria y preparatoria hace falta crear comunidad entre los padres y por eso uno se siente desconectado. Entonces, yo he estado pensando, ¿qué pasaría si los padres se voluntarían a ser room parents, ¿no? Y por decir, yo soy la yo voy a tener todos los séptimos y otra mamá va a tener todos los octavos. Y así sucesivamente. Entonces, nosotras empezaríamos una comunidad de apoyo para distribución de información, y si va a haber una venta y necesitamos recaudar fondos, entonces vamos a tener más impacto y más participación de nuestras familias si hay un padre albacea por grado. Y así se empieza a formar la comunidad, porque es algo que es súper necesario en las escuelas a nivel secundaria y preparatoria, y eso no existe. Entonces, eso sería maravilloso si existiera.
This is a great idea to have parents supporting parents. And also, I think it is important that the school recognizes the need and also work together with the parents because many things that you wish to learn from your child because they don't share what they do in class or whatever, it's something that it is important for the school to gather parents and really inform them and educate them and provide them experiential type of learning about, come and see what we do in math. Let me show you what children are learning and what type of labs they have in science. Let's see what they are doing in social studies and in English language, and all different type of topics that absolutely it is important that we understand. It's not that every parent is going to learn algebra now or geometry, but we need to know what are they doing, right? What are they learning? What are the things that I can help with, or maybe I can't, but it's at least I know what they are doing and what they are heading towards. So I think it is important. And if it doesn't happen, it is an idea to start looking into and seeing maybe you'll be the first one, Virginia, to say, okay, I'm organizing the middle school parents, or but again, it's not only parents, because when we are talking about engagement, we are talking about partnership. What is going on? And if, because again, parents can be instrumental in contributing to even what are the area that might be important to focus on, because part of cultural history, for example, that might not be taught in school can be incorporated by bringing parents and having their story told. Inspiring story. Look at your story with 14 kids growing up. It's inspiring story that children can learn from it and others. So it brings hope. It brings a lot of determination that things can be done, that things can happen. So this is a great idea. Other comments, questions, wishes?
Okay, if we don't have any more questions or comments, we're gonna end this workshop. Thank you
and-
so much.
I think Miss Karina Contreras raised her hand.
That's right.
Right? Yeah.
I don't see. Something is not okay with my view.
Sí. Muchas gracias. Solo quería compartir. Lastimosamente, muchos de los papás tienen diferentes sus prioridades. Yo soy una mamá bastante viejita en el distrito. Tengo más de 10 años, mamá del distrito de Pasadena, y he estado batallando con eso. Muchos papás tenemos muchos retos. Por ejemplo, tenemos el reto del trabajo, tenemos el reto de que no queremos salir de la casa, tenemos el reto donde no podemos tener a nuestros niños chiquitos para que nos los cuiden. Y hay variedad de retos de muchos papás y mamás. Sería muy bueno lo que compartió la señora Virginia, creo que se llama. Lastimosamente me he dado cuenta que los papás solamente les gusta involucrarse mientras los niños están pequeños. Cuando los niños ya crecen y van a middle school y a high school, he encontrado eso, que ya no se quieren involucrar. La mayoría, estoy hablando por la mayoría de los papás, tan solo ahorita cuántos papás sabemos ahorita en el chat. Creo que hay más asistentes del distrito que papás. Hemos batallado bastante por mucho tiempo y me he dado cuenta que pues todo depende de la prioridad de cada una de las mamás. Si la prioridad no son sus hijos, no van a querer involucrarse, es lo que yo he mirado. Si la prioridad de ellos es el trabajo por necesidad, si la prioridad de ellos es otra, porque muchos papás, he mirado que muchos papás cumpliendo con mandar al muchacho o a la muchacha a la escuela ya están haciendo su trabajo. Y eso no es así. Uno como papá tiene que estar involucrado en la vida de su hijo hasta cuando él llega a la mayoría de edad, porque cuando el muchacho o la muchacha ya es mayor de edad, ya es responsable de sus actos, mientras el muchacho o la muchacha sea menor de edad, es responsabilidad de los papás. Y solamente quería compartir eso. Hemos tratado de tener reuniones de papás a todo día, a todas horas del día, en la tarde, en la mañana, en la noche, y ha sido la misma respuesta. O no pueden, o no quieren, o no es una de sus prioridades. Entonces, pues no sé, solamente quería compartir eso. Gracias.
Thank you. Thank you. And we ran out of time, but this is something that next time, our next meeting, I would love Karina to think more about the issue that you are raising, because we can look at it from different angles and different ways of understanding. But you absolutely describe parents who have a lot of stressors in their lives. And one of the areas that I work a lot in is trauma and how we work with different populations that experience trauma. And these are things that we need to take in consideration as well when we engage with each other.
Thank you, Dr. Riblet. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Like I said, we're going to send you all the resources and evaluation. And keep in mind that this is the starting point of our conversation with Dr. Ridley. And next time it will be February 15. However, I posted the link to the Canvas page because we do have additional workshops to get you engaged and other presentations. But thank you so much, Dr. Ridley, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you, everybody. Good night, and thank you for being here and being such an engaged parent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.